Hello, everyone. I'm Becky Olson. Today we're going to talk about sentence starters. This is one of my favorite things to do with students when they have an individual reading assignment in the scriptures, and sometimes they just aren't sure if they're looking for the right things or if they're finding the right things. So they don't always have the greatest confidence in what they're finding. So I feel like sentence starters gives them a little bit more confidence so that they can know that they are looking for and finding the things that we expect them to find. And then they come more prepared to the classroom discussion after they've had their individual reading time. So let's jump into the lesson for this week in 3rd Nephi and take a look at a place where you could use sentence starters. Okay, so we're here in 3rd Nephi, chapters 8 through 10. Let's scroll down until we get to this section of the lesson called Truths About Jesus Christ. In this section, the students are invited to open in their study journal and label this entry, Learning About Jesus Christ in 3rd Nephi. And it says that they'll be adding to this journal entry for the next several weeks, so to make sure they have several pages set aside for this. I like this section right here where it talks about maybe having reverent instrumental music playing to invite the Spirit while the students study individually. These are the verses that they're invited to read. And then it says, look for what Jesus Christ taught these people about himself, and write these truths under the heading in your study journal. For this journaling exercise, you can see that there are quite a few verses that the students need to read on their own, and this is a very general prompt, and that might be perfectly fine for your students, especially if your students are a little bit older, maybe 11th and 12th graders. But perhaps if you have a lot of younger students or those that just need a little bit more support, it might be nice to give them some sentence starters. Here are some sample sentence starters for the verses that they were invited to read from the lesson manual. I broke the references up a little bit more and added these starters, like Jesus Christ is. When they read these verses, they want to fill in the blank, and there will be multiple answers to this. In 3rd Nephi 9, verses 19 to 22, they can look to fill in the rest of these statements. Jesus Christ came to the world too, and fill in the blank. And they may find multiple answers for each of these sentence starters. And in 3rd Nephi 10, verses 4 to 7, Jesus Christ wants to. With sentence starters, this is just a way for them to look at those verses with greater focus, and it helps them to find specific things. Once your students have finished that individual reading and writing the responses to these sentence starters in their journal, you're able to come back to the lesson manual and have a discussion using the questions that are outlined here. What did the Savior teach about himself that was especially significant to you, and why? And these additional questions down here. All right, so the purpose of these sentence starters is to give your students greater confidence as they study the scriptures individually, and it gives them the chance to prepare so that they can participate in the group discussion with greater confidence when the individual reading time is done. All right, good luck with your teaching this week.